Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Well, welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Actually, our last Spokane Talks Live program, because next week we debut The Pulse of Spokane at the same time. A whole new concept, a whole new show, same old host though. We've got a great program today, and it's really all about our beautiful downtown. And Fianna, Dickson, did I get it close? Okay. And Lindsey is here to talk about, they're both here about Riverfront Park, that jewel of downtown that was really started with Expo 74. And then Mark Richard, speaking of downtown, with the Downtown Spokane Partnership is going to be here. And we'll talk all kinds of things, from the great things going on downtown to the homeless issue and so forth. Connor's calling the weather next on Spokane Talks Live.
Hello Spokane, this is Connor from Spokane Talks Online with your 5-day weather forecast. Today is going to be sunny skies with a high of 83, while tonight will be partly cloudy skies with a low of 52. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny skies with a high of 75, while tomorrow night will clear out with a low of 48. Friday will bring us sunny skies with a high of 74, and Friday night will be clear with a low of 47. Saturday will also be sunny skies with a high of 76, while the night will be mostly clear with a low of 48. Sunday will be sunny skies with a high of 77, while Sunday night will be partly cloudy skies with a low of 47. Thank you for listening in. I hope you have a great week.
The following is sponsored by our friends and community supporters at McNeese Wheeler Attorneys. McNeese Wheeler is a boutique law firm in Spokane, handling matters in both Washington and Idaho. Areas of law include business law, wills, trusts and estates, family law, personal injury and wrongful death, and real estate matters. For your full-service legal needs, contact McNeese Wheeler Attorneys.
I'm Nikki Butler, and I'm a regional manager for STCU. My lunch buddy is Nicole.
I'm Brandy Schloss. I'm a regional manager at STCU. My lunch buddy is Angelina. She's grown up with me. I've grown up with her. To see her graduate would be a lot of fun.
Brandy and I have been lunch buddies since the girls were in 2nd grade. It's great that STCU provides me with the opportunity to be part of Reach for the Future. We are committed to the children. We're committed to our community. I'm Nikki.
I'm Brandy.
And STCU is here for good.
Hi, I'm Larry Myers, owner of River Ridge Hardware. Welcome to our garden center here on the corner of Garland and Driscoll. We have fresh plants that come in weekly from all of our local growers. We can make your garden look like our garden. Here at River Ridge, we've been here 30 years. We're your full-service neighborhood hardware store. This is our sprinkler aisle, where my knowledgeable staff will help you put together your sprinkler system so it will make your yard lush green for the spring and summer. This is River Ridge Hardware's rental center, where we provide a multitude of equipment for rent for the do-it-yourselfer. Next time you're working on your home or yard this spring and summer, stop by, say hi, and we'll help you get the project done.
Well, this show is everything downtown, and we start off with what I would call the gem of Spokane, Riverfront Park. I came to town 42 years ago, so it was in 1976, just 2 years after Riverfront Park. In fact, I worked across the street at the Chamber of Commerce. And one of the things I had to learn right away was Expo 74 to explain it, even though I wasn't here, and there was a great slide presentation and so forth. So I think within about 2 months, I felt like I had been at Expo, and what a great transformation it was for downtown Spokane. It really started everything that we now see with what's going on with businesses and the Davenport hotels, and we could go on and on, River Park Square and so forth. And a couple years ago, we approved a bond issue, and they've been, you and others have been working on it. And so let's talk about the progress. Where are we on this right now?
Yeah, well, we're about halfway through, really, with
redevelopment. Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah.
So we can say that now.
I think that's a good place to be.
Okay.
We hope to be done by spring 2020.
Okay.
And as the community probably...
That's really not that far off when you think about it.
Time flies, doesn't it? And as the community knows, we really opened up the South Bank, the skate ribbon, the Louvre Carousel, and that beautiful bridge, the Rotary Fountain. That bridge is the first phase of the promenade. So what visitors can see next is the pavilion. They'll see that's under construction because they're having to take a lot of extra steps right now to get around the park. And we always appreciate visitors' patience with that. It's a big construction project to walk around. And then
probably not as bad as it was for Expo 74 when you're tearing things down so much, you know.
It's a good point.
Yeah, and we're going to have a really beautiful park again.
We will. Yeah. So the pavilion is under construction right now. That'll open up in the fall of 2019. And then the promenade that runs through it, and then the playground. We're really excited about that final deliverable.
What's that going to be? Because I keep seeing this and that, and so you... Let me know, what are we talking about? Where's it going to be? What's it going to include?
Right, so it'll be on the north bank of the river, so kitty corner from the arena.
Okay.
Right, it'll be adjacent to the future sportsplex that's happening there. So that whole area is going to see, of course, its own regeneration with private and public development. And it's going to be an ice-aged floods theme. So it's really a dual purpose. It's a regional, we call it a regional playground because we want it to be a big regional draw.
It's
the place to come and have a fun play date. And it will at the same time educate folks about the geography of our region. And right there is that basalt column wall.
Yes.
And we've kind of hidden it. We've kind of pretended like it's not there. We've had
we
parking.
Park cars in front of it.
Park cars on it and next to it. Let's highlight that because it's a beautiful geological feature and let's use it as an educational tool. We've got a really unique history of our geology here, so let's play with that, so to speak.
And how many, especially young people, understand the flood that came through here 10,000 years ago? Now, I remember it because I was here, but I mean, most people don't, right? And we don't talk about that enough. So we're going to have a chance to really kind of highlight that.
Yeah, and we just hired a design team. I mean, within the last couple of days, and and they've got an ice age.
Can you say who it is?
Yeah, it's Bernardo Wills. It's a local architect firm.
Great.
And they've put together a really impressive team. They've got an ice age floods expert. They've got a stormwater expert, and they've got some really creative ideas about how to play with this theme. And I think it'll educate both young and old.
So that'll start the designing and so forth. And then when can we expect to see it in operation? A year and a half?
Yeah, we're looking at fall 2019 for the playground.
Okay.
And then there's some amenities around that area that will probably take an additional time, some surface parking, some recreational amenities. So that will be phase 2, and that's probably spring.
But that whole area is going to be brand spanking new with the arena nearby and all of that, and a great north entrance, if you will, into Riverfront Park.
Right, which has really kind of been lacking, I think. And one of the neat features that will be at that north entrance again is a butterfly. And
you have to bring those, a couple of those back. Now, there'll be more than that, or just the one?
The one is funded.
Okay.
The second one is a part of our fundraising campaign. And if it's fundraised for, which I anticipate there'll be community support for that, it will be on the south side, kind of near the Red Wagon.
Yes. Well, great. Well, that's it's kind of fun and exciting. Something's going on right now at Riverfront Park. What's going on?
That's Pig Out in the Park.
Yes.
So
you didn't bring me any samples.
Oh, I know. We can go get them after we're done here.
There's a hidden rule here. You have to bring food for the host. Next time.
Yep. So that started today.
Okay.
And that runs not just 5 days; it's up to 6 days. This season. So. But they opened, they've been loading in for the last 2 days. It's quite a production. But they're up and running and open for business.
And one of the things as a result of what's going on at Riverfront Park is with the rewiring and everything else, things are going to be so much easier for events and activities like this, won't it?
I would say, absolutely. The park has been redeveloped to support events, to be a better support for these large events and small events.
We've been trying to get by with old technology and old electricity wiring and everything from 40-some years ago.
There's power everywhere.
Yeah, great.
So which is wonderful.
So is most of that done already?
It's in progress. So the parts that Pig Out is using have been rewired.
Ooh,
and we've been, what's great too is we've brought our community partners in to design us. We brought in Hoop Fest, Pig Out, Bloomsday. We sat down and said, what kind of infrastructure do you need to run your event? And hopefully looking ahead too, because in 40 years, you know, the last time we redeveloped this park 4 years ago, trying to look ahead to see what kind of infrastructure.
No, and I think that makes sense, because if you've got some of those events, it probably is going to be some of the same kinds of requirements for other things, and we want to continue to add those things to Spokane. I mean, they're a good draw. They fill beds, they get people to go to restaurants and enjoy Spokane and shop, and a lot of the small businesses really depend on bringing people to town. I mean, that's really part of what we need to be doing.
Yeah, they're all economic drivers, and that's part of what's so important is supporting those businesses. Absolutely.
So what else is going on?
Well, so we are fully in our programming mode, and we're in the ice ribbon will be opening shortly. So
I was
that's
going to say,
and the pavilion, as Fianna mentioned.
It's going to work this year, right?
Absolutely, yes.
How many times have people asked that?
We're talking about.
Why did you have to bring that up?
But
it's
first year problems. It happens in everything.
Well, first year facilities, whether it's a facility or an event, the first year of anything is usually a learning experience. Yes, and you do it bigger, better next time. But we had a very robust, even this year without the new North Bank being open, we've been doing programming, and now that it is open with the bridge, we've been doing Riverfront Eats, which is a food truck series every Tuesday. So we have live music, and we did that starting in June. So we've extended it through September, because September is beautiful. It's not happening today because of Pig Out, but we'll be back at it Tuesday. So that's really to bring, you know, the working downtown professionals out to the park during the day to enjoy the park. And so we are also doing our fitness activities. We've had great success with yoga on the bridge, and so that has recently wrapped up.
Didn't you do yoga on the ribbon or something too?
Yeah, we did yoga on the ice.
I love your face.
Well, I'm not a yoga person. I know you can tell, but I mean,
And we're always
super popular.
I know.
We're really looking at creating events that are experiential and transformative and unique.
Yes.
Quality public programming that is educational and just memorable.
Well, clearly from all of the folks that came in here after the ice ribbon opened and they experienced it, I heard nothing but great comments about what a nice place to take them and so forth. I think it's great. The carousel. Is that as popular as ever? Yeah.
I think it just really speaks to the time. Amy's talking about an experience. That's a timeless experience. And it was fun to watch adults that are like, oh, it's kind of for kids. And they get on and their smiles are like,
there's just as many adults.
It's super special.
Well, there aren't very many carousels like what we have here in Spokane in our country. So, I mean, it's kind of a legacy opportunity to enjoy and so forth. And the goat. Now, I don't. Somebody told me a couple of years ago that was the most popular thing in Riverfront Park. Is that still one of the most popular? At least
it cracks me up.
Everybody has to go see the goat. I hear people walking through the park.
Well,
we have to go to the
adult children will mention. I remember Dad going there as a 6-year-old. You know, and
You know what's so funny too? If you look back at the history of the goat, and maybe you or some of the viewers are familiar, it was really controversial when it opened.
Yes,
there was controversy. Do you remember that? Do you remember hearing about this? You know, that people were concerned that we were feeding garbage to a goat, and that gave the impression that goats ate garbage, right? And we didn't want that getting in the community. So it's interesting. You know, we think now about some of the controversy that naturally comes with any kind of public process and voter hard-earned taxpayer dollars. Understandably, people have an opinion, and we want that. But it's just interesting to look back and see, you know, even something as beloved as the garbage goat now came with controversy at the time. And we love it. We even brought it into the carousel in terms of putting the image on where you toss the rings and just integrating it. We've got some cute garbage goat merchandise in our Riverfront Park shop, and it's a beloved treasure. We want to keep it.
We've got a couple of minutes left, and I just want to throw out, because we have conversations here, what have we not talked about that we want to tell our audience?
You want to talk about fall programming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're working on a fall festival. With
Do we
Downtown.
really have to talk about fall? No, I'm kidding. I'm
Well,
kidding.
yeah. Oh, well, I have plenty of programming still happening now and through September. So Sunday Fun Day is something that we did all summer, and it's been pretty popular. It's 1 to 3 at the Ribbon.
Okay.
We have free skate rentals during that time.
Oh,
so
okay.
we've had lots of folks come down. A lot of just family-friendly,
Yes.
kid-friendly activities. We have a bounce house, and arts and crafts.
You know, that's one of the things that I'm just absolutely amazed of. And again, I've been here for 42 years, but how family-friendly and how many opportunities at little or no cost there are for families. You know, and we talk about families today that, you know, both often the husband and wife are working, and then, you know, they've got a couple kids, they're trying to put them in, you know, we're back to school today and tomorrow, and all of those costs and so forth. And sometimes to go out and have a fun day, you know, even to a movie and things like that, you can start shelling out lots of money, but there are opportunities in Spokane.
And that's kind of the model
Yeah.
that we're going toward for
Yes.
our programming is to, so for example, Riverfront Eats, the food truck association,
Yes.
we work with them. And so we do get a percentage of the sale from the food that goes to support free and low-cost programming in the park.
Great, good.
So
Well, all right, so how do people get information about Riverfront Park?
our website is the
Yeah.
best
I was gonna say, I
mode.
bet you have a
yes,
website, yeah.
and our
Social
Facebook
media.
page
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they just type in and search for Riverfront Park, Spokane.
Riverfrontspokane.org is our
Okay.
website, and then you can connect to us on our Facebook page
Great.
from there and Twitter account from
Yeah,
there.
and we have a dedicated redevelopment page too, because there's so
Okay.
much going on. We've got more public outreach coming
So you
up.
get updated pictures and things like that?
Exactly.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, ladies, for
Thanks,
coming
Ken.
Thanks
and
for having
for just continuing to expand our Riverfront Park and what's going on, and following through with that bond that we did, what, 4 years ago, 3.5, 4 years
big
ago?
investment.
Wow, yeah, a few dollars, but money well spent for our families and future here in Spokane. So
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Mark Richard to talk about downtown Spokane right after this.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Is your child having trouble coping with a personal disability, but don't know where to go? Consider our friends at Breakthrough Incorporated. Breakthrough takes great pride in mentoring their DDA clients who have intellectual disabilities and their BRS clients who have challenging behaviors toward the creation of safe, appropriate, ethically sound life goals. They integrate programs at school and home to enrich their lives. They work hard to make a positive difference in you and your family's lives. Breakthrough provides a highly structured, fully staffed residential setting in local neighborhoods, 6 in Spokane and 2 in the Tri-Cities. Diagnoses affect people differently, so their service to each resident is unique, giving them the opportunity to grow and evolve. For more information on Breakthrough, visit their website at breakthroughincorporated.org.
You're really doing it. You're ready to buy a house. You know what you can afford, you've got a pre-approval letter, and you and your partner haven't killed each other yet. Now's the fun part. First, think about your main requirements.
Location,
house type,
square footage,
number of beds and baths,
garage,
property age,
then think about specific features.
waterfront,
pool,
local schools,
neighborhood safety,
walking distance to parks.
proximity to a decent Turkish bathhouse.
HO.
From there, input all your search criteria. Min and max prices, number of beds and baths, single fam, multifam, condo, co-op, villa, townhouse, farm, whatever. You can even draw your own custom search around the neighborhood you want. The open house is the most fun you can have in real estate. It's like having carte blanche to walk into a total stranger's house and snoop around while they're not there. Here are a few pointers. First, feel free to step in without knocking or ringing the bell. Unless you see a note saying otherwise, in which case, yes, knock and/or ring. It's generally considered good open house etiquette to wait until a group of buyers leaves a room or area before entering.
What we were talking about. Let's check it out. I know, so.
Listen to what other buyers are saying. They may know something about the property or neighborhood that you don't.
I bet they don't even know they have
this. Oh, no. Ask questions about the house, how long it's been on the market, the school district, the property taxes, but keep it cool. Don't give yourself away by sounding too excited.
And the schools in this area are incredible. Woo! They're actually building a brand new one 3 blocks away. What? And it should be open in the middle of next year.
Yeah! Please do not steal. Finally, if there are snacks or refreshments, do not take them. It'll skew your perspective. Unless they're mini quiches. Those little are tasty as hell.
Well, welcome back. Kent Adams here. It's the 29th of August. Can you believe we're sitting here at the end of August? Wow. A friend of mine here, Mark Richard, with the Downtown Spokane Partnership. Gosh, I haven't seen you for a while, and you haven't seen me. How lucky can you get, right?
Well, I've missed you, man. I've missed you. Thanks for inviting me back.
No, it's good to have you.
Great.
So many good things are happening. We just had the ladies on from Riverfront Park. I almost said River Park Square. Do you ever do that?
All the time.
All
the
time.
Yeah.
Okay. Both great entities
yeah.
and landmarks really for downtown Spokane and for the Spokane area. But boy, you've been working hard, and good things are happening. There are a lot of great things going on. But the sad thing is, we were talking about it, you dropped off a daughter to college, didn't you?
I did.
How's that? How are you doing, Dad?
Well, you know, it's rough. I'll tell you, it's really rough. It's my youngest, and I've got 2 girls, and so I think when you compound the fact that they're your little girls and it's your last one.
Yes.
My wife and I are trying to figure out exactly, why the heck did we get married? You know, who are you? Yeah, and do we have anything in common anymore?
You can't blame it on anyone else.
Right? Yeah. There's no more distractions. Right? It's just her and I, and a lot of silence and quiet around the house. So it's a special time, but a tough time for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about fun things, and that's downtown. First of all, let's address the big elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. It's been on local TV. It's been in the newspaper and so forth. And it's the homeless issues, because it's not just one issue.
Yeah.
The program the other night on Q6 I saw was with the what's his name, Castle, and his
the owner of that
his business and
marketing
so forth.
business. Yeah,
you're right. But he's not the only one that's had to put up with this and so forth. And it's not where you're going to go shopping and those kinds of things. But there's still that thinking out there about what is it like? Do I want to take the grandkids downtown and so forth?
Right.
How do we? My opinion is that we have a lot of folks working on this.
Yes.
But it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And so you're on top of this as much as anyone. Where are we going with it? What chance do we have to make some positive impacts?
Well, thanks for asking. First, I would say for the listener and the viewers, downtown is incredibly safe.
Yes.
When I look at the stats going back to 2013 compared to today, the crime has gone down dramatically in downtown Spokane. The incidents of assault, those kinds of things, I would say 99% of the time, unfortunately, that is one homeless person assaulting another.
Yes,
right?
yes. It's not to the public.
It isn't. But what we're left with
is the perception.
Is a perception of lack of safety, and you're going to see that throughout downtown. So part of this, and I'm getting to the answer, but part of this too, Ken, I think, is we need to realize is that we are now, really a full-blown metropolitan city, and we don't really think of ourselves like that sometimes, and particularly because we're in the midst of a rural region. A lot of our guests and visitors and even local residents come from the outlying rural areas, and so seeing somebody that's addicted to drugs or alcohol, or somebody with significant mental illness,
it's not an everyday experience.
Bingo, and so I would encourage folks to just to think about that, and and again, the crime stats show that we are in fact safe. However, I would say you don't leave your purse or your laptop in the front seat of your car.
Right.
That's not a wise thing to do in downtown Spokane, or
I don't
frankly
care wherever you
anywhere.
are.
Right,
No.
and so that's really our most significant crime. I would also say there are a lot of amazing people working on this issue, ourselves included, and we work on this issue because we have to. We're a business-related organization that is out there to try to, what I call, set the table for economic development.
Yes.
And we have to make sure that it feels safe. So what I would say is phenomenal things going on. We are making progress, but we're in the midst of a significant housing crisis. We're in the midst of a drug epidemic that is, frankly, global, certainly national. And Spokane's not immune to that.
Right.
And so if we were to take away the whole host of efforts that are being done in Spokane to solve these problems, we would see a stark difference, and it would be much, much worse. And so what I would say is we're doing our best to tread water and to keep up essentially with this issue in the midst of a growing homeless population and a growing mental health issues and chronic drug use. And so that's kind of how I would answer that. I think we are doing some. In fact, I just got to take a tour with the CEO for Volunteers of America yesterday, and from Transitions Women's Hearth and Transitions and SNAP.
There's some good programs out there.
Unreal programs. Some of the most caring human beings, and some real differences being made. People's lives being transformed. But we do have.
But that doesn't make the headlines.
No, it doesn't. And to the point of the folks that have been raising this issue, we agree with them. We need to be very cautious about not concentrating our housing and our services in the downtown, or frankly anywhere in our community. We need to spread those services and facilities throughout our community for the betterment of that individual and for the betterment of our community.
Right. I think that's a good point. And my wife brought that up. She said, "Why is so much in one couple block area?" And I said, "I don't know why." But
well, in part, it's because there aren't there weren't at least a lot of residents in downtown to object. Right? You take and you want to do a housing facility for the homeless in your neighborhood. Your wife's going to show up and testify, right? And so it is fortunate that we're seeing the businesses stand up and say, "Hey, wait a minute. We need to rethink this. Everybody needs to own some of the responsibility of caring for our folks in need."
Well, good. Well, we want to do a program on this, and so I'll be talking to you about who else to bring in and so forth. Well, let's move on to some really good things going on, if you will. And what is going? So there's some redevelopment going on soon on Riverside Avenue.
Yes,
right? What's
so
that about?
We've got a couple of great things for the public to weigh in on. One is right now in front of us, the city is posing kind of a reimagination of Riverside Avenue as they look to prepare Riverside for the future Central City Line, kind of bus rapid transit facility. And so in doing that, they're going to go down and basically replace 100-and-some-year-old sewer pipes all the way up to the sidewalk. So building to building reimagination. So what they're asking for, and we're certainly asking the community to weigh in on, what do you want? What can you imagine Riverside to look like? Riverside, interestingly enough, if you look back, of course, when you were in your early teens and back in the 30s, I just love giving you a bad time.
I know. Hey, I was here for the flood 10,000 years ago.
So I'm waiting for you to get me back. I know it'll happen.
When you're not looking.
But Riverside, exactly. Riverside used to be really the epicenter of our community.
Yes.
And yet today, if you drive down Riverside, it's really the highest concentration of commercial vacancy that we have in the downtown. And so how do we reimagine Riverside and make it more pedestrian friendly, make it more inviting for business to grow and prosper?
But not exclude the cars.
No,
we
absolutely.
still need to get through
most
there.
definitely. And so we welcome the public's feedback on that. And then the entire downtown plan is under review starting this fall, and so we welcome the community's input on what do you want in your downtown for the next 20 years.
Yes,
we want to hear from people.
Wow.
Both at our website, downtownspokane.net, and then of course the cities, SpokaneCity.org will have opportunity surveys and points where the public can weigh in.
Right. The thing that always comes up, and you know what I'm going to say, is parking but it's not really as bad as the perception out there, because there are a lot of parking spots, aren't there?
There absolutely are. Again, part of this is that we need to make sure those parking spots are inviting and feel safe. So we're trying to encourage our partners like Diamond to improve their lighting. And because we think that that
makes a lot of sense.
We got to make those surface lots more inviting for people to park. And then
and then some of them we want to fill them with buildings.
Absolutely right. And
more businesses, more apartments, more condos. Yeah.
That include parking.
Yes.
And so one of the things on our legislative agenda, we took a swing at this last year with the state legislature. We're going to do it again, and that is seeking essentially a temporary property tax abatement for folks that want to redevelop their surface parking lots in downtown Spokane. As a way to incent them to build up and to infill our downtown neighborhood.
Right. Wow.
Lots going on,
with all this going on, you found time to take your daughter to...
I did.
What university did she go to?
She is now a proud Ram at Colorado State University in Fort Collins.
Okay.
So I have to give a shout out, though. I'm an Eagle, and she just finished running start at Eastern.
Okay.
So she's starting Colorado State essentially with a year and a half worth of credits.
Darn kids.
Under her belt. She saved me a ton of money.
Isn't it nice to have smart kids?
Oh, man, yeah. Amen.
I know people. Well, my neighbor, his daughter started as a junior at University of Washington. And he's right. Colin said, you can't believe the amount of money I saved on that. Yes. And I know a couple other young people who have done the same thing too, which is great, because what an opportunity. Often the smart kids like that need to be challenged, and they can get that additional challenge at a university and so forth.
Right.
Well, good for you. That is great.
Yeah.
Now, your other daughter, older daughter, what is she doing?
So she also graduated from Eastern. Go Eags.
Okay.
And she's
See
now.
how you got that in.
That was nice. I worked that right in. So she and her husband are living in Yakima while he's taken a position there, and they're anxious to move back, and we're anxious to get him back.
Yes. It's tough. My youngest daughter had lived in California in the High Sierras for about 8 or 9 years, and they finally a year ago moved back to Bellingham, but at least it's a day drive instead of 2 or 2.5 day drive, and much closer. So now all my grandchildren are in the state of Washington, or as some call it, the state of confusion, but still nearby, if you will.
Oh, that's great, Ken.
Yeah, it's great. Anything else going on? I want to before we have a minute or so left.
Yeah, well, I would just say, I think that we have, people might be surprised. We have over 60,000 employees that come to work, 50-some thousand employees that work in downtown Spokane on a daily basis.
50,000?
Right.
Wow.
We have, in addition to that, we have 13,000 housing units in downtown Spokane. 75% of those are market rate, and 25% are subsidized housing. And that number is really growing off the chart. We have about 1.5%, 2% vacancy rate on our residential side.
That's nuts.
So now is the time. I think people are just rediscovering urban lifestyle, and Spokane is. I mean, where else can you live in downtown at an affordable rate, go to work and go to dine, and then be on the falls or on the trail right within 3 minutes? And Spokane is becoming discovered by both people that live here as well as
look at all the magazines and others that highlight us as a place to live and everything else. I wonder how much, and maybe you've got a good feeling, how much Jim Frank and the Kendall Yards has really made a difference to downtown. Do you think that's really helped a lot?
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah. Some people think, well, it's not quite downtown. Is it pulling business away? I think it's a rising tide lifts all boats.
Right.
Jim's an amazing human being. He does a phenomenal job, and the energy that's happening in Kendall Yards
is spilling over.
Is absolutely spilling over. Love to have. I mean, we see people using the park more, so the park is becoming more exciting, as you just heard.
Yes.
People are we have the highest concentration of restaurants. I think we have over 200 different eateries and restaurants and coffee shops in the downtown
area.
I've
got about 150 more to go.
Right. You better get busy. Yeah. So if you have,
some may think I've already been there, but that's a whole other story.
I'm not going to touch that one.
No, better not.
But if you have not been in downtown in a while, I would just tell our viewers, come down and re-experience downtown, because it's not what it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's not your really parents' downtown.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, Mark, you and your people, I see your staff out cleaning the streets and sidewalks and everything else, which I think is so important. They even come where I park my car, and they're getting a vehicle up there at times, and they're always very friendly.
Good.
Because they really become the face of downtown to so many people, and it's nice to have. I mean, you know, sometimes they're not doing the most fun job in cleaning up and everything else, but the attitude makes a difference for our visitors to have people like that working in. They're doing a great job.
Well, that's certainly what we're aiming for. So it warms my heart to hear that. We are trying to make sure that first touch, that first experience for our visitor is top notch. And so thank you for saying that. I'll pass it on.
If people want to get more information, you have a website.
I do. Yeah, downtownspokane.net.
That's really hard to remember.
Right, yeah. So you can also go and log in and sign up for our newsletter so you can get information about all the fantastic happenings, including new stores that are coming, new economic development, housing opportunities.
And we are growing new stores, aren't we?
We are.
And new businesses.
Yeah. I mean, we had a great opportunity to do help with the ribbon cutting for the Nike store.
Yes.
I mean, that's a landmark for us. So for a city our size to have the stores like Apple and Urban Outfitters and
we
Anthropology.
Almost got Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, well, hey, it's not.
It's not.
I got a little birdie on my shoulder that tells me that that's not a dead deal yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so keep an eye on that one.
The bird isn't dead yet.
No, the bird has not died. Yeah, so keep an eye on that one.
Okay, well, good.
You know, Panera is also looking at a downtown location. I don't know if you've been to a Panera, but phenomenal food.
Yeah, my wife likes it, but I haven't been. Yeah.
Just more and more dining experiences give you another excuse to come down and check it out.
Absolutely. Right. Well, we love being downtown. You know, and for folks who don't know where we are, we're essentially across the street from the Spokane Club, and we love it down here. Our hosts and guests enjoy it because many of them walk here.
Yeah.
Did you walk here?
Of course, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Beautiful day out there.
Yes, I understand. I've been out yet.
Well, trust me, it's nice.
Okay. Oh, I trust you. Mark, thank you for all you do for downtown, okay? And thanks for watching. We'll see you next week right here at noon on, what is it, the 5th, I guess, of, gosh, hard to believe, September. See you then. Have a great weekend.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online, LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.